Ladies and gentlemen, fancy seeing you here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tang StarCraft here with a ZvZ replay analysis, and today I'm going to take a break from my own games and actually look at one of my favorite players in the whole world. I'm so excited to have another game of Scarlett's. Scarlett, of course, is a Canadian Zerg player, and she's friggin' awesome. I never win when I play against Scarlett, I'll be honest. I'm a pretty confident guy. There's a lot of players out there I feel like I can beat, but Scarlett's one of those players where when I face against her on the ladder, I'm just like, oh man, I'm going to lose these points. So any chance I get to steal a build or learn something from Scarlett, I'm going to take it. And this game was actually just posted on Reddit by Egg, who was nice enough to share this replay. And I'm excited to see what kind of build we're going to see from Scarlett. So I'm mostly going to be focused on her opening because I'm curious. I have seen her open with like some gasless builds where she goes into like +1/+1 and eventually Mutalisks. And that's kind of what it's looking like here with the 17 hatch, but we'll see whether there's any gas or not. That's what's going to be the real indicator. Any gas? Any gas? Ooh, up to 19 before the pool. A little extra greedy. Looks like it'll be pool. And probably the gas right after. Okay, so basically like a 19 gas, 19 pool. Is what that looked like. After, of course, the hatch on 17. It's a little greedier than your standard hatch opening, but not too different. And then we see, yeah, up to 19, and then the Overlord, probably? Cool. So almost a standard hatch first opening here. Nothing really to talk about. As far as the Overlords being rallied, just going to the usual spot where you'd see either a base here or Lings moving out, stuff like that. And I believe that this one rallied so far down to the south here is because, again, you want to see any Lings moving out across the map. And I think generally that Lings will come from this side. I have to assume that's correct. Yeah, we should be seeing the two queens, some Lings. No Lings here from Scarlett. Wow. Actually just powering the drones. I guess feels safe on such a big map. But that's interesting to me, not even to see the one Ling. And wow, fast third. How the heck do you hold this off? I guess you just know at this point that it's not an all-in. But this is really interesting to see it so early. I was expecting to see it much later. And into the Ling speed, okay, and still just powering drones for the expansion. Luckily for Scarlett, only 2 Lings are moving across the map, so no kind of real pressure. And okay, so it looks like about 3 minutes, or about the time that the initial queens finish. You inject twice, you start up a 3rd queen, and then you get your Baneling nest. And this gas has been mining 3 from the start. So it looked like something like 32 supply or so. We're starting the Baneling nest. And additional queen. I guess the queen would have been on 30. Will we see some Ling pressure here? With the speed getting pretty close to done? Not too sure. Still seeing actually quite a few drones. Now I wonder what is making Scarlett feel safe to get those drones. I'm just going to take a look at her vision. Well, now she's going to see the 3rd come down from the opponent, so that's pretty significant. But before that, I guess just a vibe, just seeing no Lings, no speed on the map. And okay, so we are going to see some Banes here, just 2 morphed at home, and then some Lings already out on the field. So I don't think this is really meant to do any damage. It's more just kind of to keep the opponent back and also just see what kind of units they have. I'm assuming, anyway, that that's the purpose of this attack. It doesn't look to be committed because, yeah, we see the Roach Warren, more gas, in lots of drones. So this is actually interesting to me here, that off of the back of this very light Ling Bane pressure, there's been so many drones that almost already at the 4-minute mark, we're getting pretty close to the point where we're fully saturated on 2 bases with 3 gas. And that's going to give a lot of aggressive options, especially, like, I have to assume the Roach Warren is going to be for heavy aggression. So I think we'll see probably enough drones to saturate this base, like 8 more maybe, and then just tons of roaches. But hey, maybe not even more drones. It looks like it's going to be just from here. 43 workers. So that's interesting. Here's the count. It's the fully saturated main, half saturated expansion with 3 gas. And the 3rd has 10 drones as well. So it's like fully saturated 2 base essentially, right? A little bit more than that with 3 gas. That's going to afford a lot of roaches, and I expect a lot of Ravagers too. That's the point, I think, of getting those extra gas, yeah. So this is really cool. We're actually seeing tons of Lings in production. And all that extra gas is going into Ravagers. Trying to snipe the Overlords on the way, that would be nice to supply block the opponent. And this is cool. I want to see what we have. So, 4 Ravagers. Maybe like 8 Roaches. 7 Roaches. And lots of Lings by about 5:36 minutes. That's a pretty potent timing, if I may say so myself. And even some extra Banes here I noticed being morphed. So this is like a Roach, Ravager, Ling, Bane timing. All the different pre-layer stuff. And that's what this build is really all about. Not getting the lair, not getting the Evo Chamber. Just really surviving on those really low tier tech. And this seems to be a commitment, like an all-in, but I wonder whether we'll see drones as part of the transition or whether this will just be it. It might depend on whether the opponent is able to hold it, of course. Oh, those extra Lings coming just in the nick of time. Tons of only Lings in production, I guess because they're the only thing that's going to get there in time to help. I think that's basically going to be game G. And yeah, we don't see any kind of transition from Scarlett, so I'm not sure whether this is the type of build you would do something like move towards lair and upgrades in Roach speed after, or whether you just pretty much straight up commit to this. But either way, I'm going to be stealing it. I'm going to be doing that type of 5:30 timing, and I highly recommend that you guys do too. I actually saw Snoot do similar stuff too, so this is definitely meta right now as far as top tier ZvZ. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Tang StarCraft. Please check out www.allin-academy.com for Zerg coaching.